Hey there everybody, Thet here, and welcome back to Iratus, Lord of the Dead. We have another team all assembled now, because we had a couple of other people who, well, they wanted in, so I'll just perish over here. We got Cyrus Bulgari, aka Sai, looking like a snack of a Wraith over here. Wraiths got the magic damage, and they got a lot of stress going on. And we have Vasilla back here with this is the supporter one, this is the regular one. I'm doing the supporter one because it's different. Just notice they only have one slipper. Anyway, Vasilla is a banshee, 100% stress based, between screams, scream stances, absorbing fear, raising dread, and lowering enemy attack. Yeah, she's all about the stress. Let's have a level 3 brain over here, but I'm going to hold on to that for a bit. Not worried too much. We have a talent over here we could use, but I think we're going to save it for now, because each level of talent you go down requires an extra talent point. So maybe I want more surgical practice so I can make some more dudes. Let's find out. We have 2 battle squads. Let's select squad 2. We have to grab this coffin, which is not a big deal because it's actually just a free item. What do I want here? Etched bones for 16 accuracy. Steel spikes for 18% physical damage reduction. Or an ear necklace, lovely, for 18% magical damage reduction. I'm going to go ahead and grab the steel spikes. I'm actually going to go over here and give it to my swood-looking dork knight over here. Make him just a little bit tankier. Alright, now we got 2 choices. Let's see. If we go ahead to the right, we'll actually find a quest. And who knows what could happen there. It could be a battle, could be free items, it could be anything. That's to the right, not left. If we go to the left, we can find a grave, which will have a dormant minion we could raise. So it's basically a free minion. Let's see. There's also... I'm probably going to the right because a quest might have an item. And then you got a coffin over here, and they both lead to a chest, it looks like. So either way, we got items coming our way. Of course, we have to look at who we're fighting, too. This battle is 2 miners, a slave driver. I don't think that's his official name, but I'll find out, maybe. And a conscript. Wait, that's not... Oh, no, it's a hunky. Sorry. This one has an elite conscript in the front. Gold bordered enemies are elites. A hunky, a slaver, and a conscript. Let's go ahead and do this fight here. And we're going to bring Team 2 to see what our new boys can do. Boys and gal, I should say. Alright. Taskmaster. Okay. See, yeah, he's a slave driver. He just whipped the dude. Sai has 2 blocks. He doesn't anymore, so thankfully he did negate all the beginning damage there. So he whipped the miner, giving him 20 accuracy and doing extra damage. It sucks. I'm going to throw down a spine bomb on the Taskmaster, see how soon we can kill him. Yeah, enjoy that tingle, dude. Alright. You know what? Let's use Feudal Hopes with the Dark Knight. Now, anytime the enemy gets a buff, they're also going to get a stress hit. Why aren't the mortals dead yet, says the Lich. Because we haven't even started attacking them, you dinkus. We could give someone extra dread for 2 turns, which is tempting, but I think this is Toxic Cloud time. Huge stress damage for anyone who enters the cloud. Let's put that up front. We have a very stress-focused team here. Sai, we have Cold Grasp for magic damage, but I think we want to do more stress, so let's give some Ghostly Fire up front and see if we can get these miners to crack. There we go. That didn't take long. Hopeless. That's a good one. I love Hopeless. Takes away all the blocks, armors, resistances, and reduces damage and lowers luck, which means we're more likely to crit them. All right, it's Vasilla's turn now. She has a lot of interesting tricks. Scream, of course, will move someone around and do stress damage. No is an interesting move. It's a stance, and anytime any of these enemies are moved to a different position, she screams at them. We could absorb his fear to get some mana, but I don't think we need the mana right now, and I don't want to buff everyone's dread right this moment. Let's go ahead and use no. Alright, don't worry, you're not going to inflict pain. He just threw a trap under us, so anyone who moves into this position gets hurt by this trap. So, you know, keep that in mind. Oh, also the Banshee has an ability down here. Chance of enemies to escape increases by 2% each turn until it reaches 10%. So she's very good at making enemies run away. Give me some more toxic stank. Let's just stank, man. Ooh, betrayal. I do like betrayal. Wow, you moved fast this round, Vasilla. Keep up with no, though. They're going to move around eventually. I know it. You can barely hurt him. You can hurt him, though. Oh, geez. Sai is not physically powerful. However, we have Terror Wave now. Not only does it do stress damage, it causes everyone to swap positions. So guess what? 3 stress hits, and then 3 screams. There's an insanity on the hunky. And he's immediately running away. All right. We actually made him get right the hell out of there. I don't want to move the Dark Knight with Dark Tithe because someone will get hurt. So let's yell at the Taskmaster. Look at my head. Oh crap, that's not good. He got inspired. That is like a virtue in Darkest Dungeon. So nice scream. Ooh, and he went into the cloud. So he's been energized. He receives an extra point of initiative, and before starting his turn, he restores 10% of sanity to himself and all allies. Oh, that is terrible. Scream at him. We're probably going to have to physically tear him down. Oh, geez, Sai is hurting. And he is continuing to get hurt. Okay, that's not good. Let's go ahead and do some damage. Bada bing, bada boom. Now move him up, put him in the... Yeah, put him in the cloud. Alright. This is a little tricky now. You know what? Let's put a evasion cloud over here. And move back. There we go. That'll save him for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and just get some Abyssal Hunger up in here. Delicious. Alright. Yeah, okay. More trap. We'll just avoid moving into that. There's the betrayal. Ooh, a crit even. Oh, suck it down. Hell yeah. We could grab some mana from this boy, but I think we're just going to keep screaming. Yeah, the chance of us actually getting his ability all the way down is not good. And this doesn't remove his actual buff, but I wonder if we can knock that feel good right off his face. Let's see if we can. What happens if we still get his stress all the way down? Alley-oop. Okay, he doesn't lose the heroism. Woo, the betrayal, though. Can he still get a heart attack? Oh, 42 crit damage. Hot damn. There's the heart attack. Good. He's still capable of heart attacks. This guy actually gained sanity back because the Taskmaster died, because, you know, slavery's bad and people like it when it ends. That said, get scared, boy. My soul is empty. Just like yours is gonna be. Let me start that over. My soul is empty. Just like your innards, your entrails, your carcass, your corpse is gonna be. Just let me stare at you some more. Pretty good stress battle, I would say. Sai got a little spicy for him, mainly because he got double attacked at the beginning, but there's the heart attack.
My will is a tide that will wash away your pathetic civilizations.
Level 3 brains, pretty good. A little bit of souls. Not bad at all. And a couple level ups. Dark Knight got the level 2. So the leveling system in this game works by... You get a skill point, or at least this is how it works right now. They're actually in the works of changing this. In a couple months, it's going to be different. But we're going to talk about right now. Right now, you get skill points, and you get to choose and augment for any of the abilities that they have. Except for the ultimate, I think you have to be level 5 to upgrade that. So, for example, Heartless Slash right now deals 50% damage, and then 50% of the sum total of armor and resistance. However, if I go with this ability over here, Edge of Abyss, it now does 75% of regular damage instead of 50%. he also gains +3 damage, or +3 attack. If I go to this side over here instead, death comes for everyone. Same amount of regular damage, but then it does 75% of armor and resistance. Plus, he gets 1 more point of armor. If I want to build this Dark Knight tanky, I want death comes for everyone. Hollow Stare has some as well. This one does extra stress based on how many buffs or debuffs the target has. This one is just straight up more stress without the buff or debuff addition. Dark Tide can change to Dark Offering for more wrath, or Dark Cleansing for more mana, and so on and so forth. I'm going to go with Death Comes for Everyone.
Serve me well, my minion.
I'm going to see what we could do on getting his armor up a little bit farther. Sai also got an immediate level up. Congrats. Cold Grasp. If we went ahead and changed it to Depth Grasp, you gain a extra strong critical hit. He has no luck, though, so this is not a good way to go. Although it does give him some extra dread. Makes it a little tempting. Or we can go for Far Grasp, which is just more damage, which is good. Necrotic Wind, his main stress dealer. We could go with Necrotic Squall, which does a lot more damage. Or we can go with Wind of Oblivion, which hits 2 enemies instead of 1, I believe. No, it doesn't. This one adds a knockback to it. That's right. Knockback of 2. My mistake. Ghostly Fire. This is the one that hits 2 enemies. We could change this to Ghostly Inferno, which I believe is... Is this more... Oh, no. Ghostly Fire hits 2 enemies, the chosen target and the one behind it. Ghostly Inferno hits 3 enemies, the chosen target and 2 behind it. Or Cursed Flames, which does more damage over time, basically. No, actually does more damage in general. Evolution, +8 dread until the end of the battle. We can change that to 10 dread, or we can change that to 1 block and 1 ward. Ghostly Veil, that's that extra 25% evasion. We could change that to 35, or we can make it last an extra turn. Okay, there you go. This is upgrades. Trying to kind of blast through this. What I do like, though, is that upgrading something like Necrotic Squall would actually go ahead and give him a little bit of evasion. Not much, but something. He does have a problem with tankiness. I mean, he does have an arm. He does have a block and a ward, but he's still a little weak. I'm thinking we maybe give him survival. A little bit of extra health. Our Lich, I kind of want to upgrade Toxic Cloud to Corrosive Cloud, which destroys all armor and resistance to any enemy in the cloud. But I could also up Sacrifice. I could change it to Cruel Sacrifice, which would give us Wrath instead of Healing, but healing's so hard to come by, it's really hard to choose anything else. Bone Shards upgrades are pretty interesting. He can go with Shard Swarm, which ignores wards. It's pretty strong. Or go with Shrapnel, which deals damage to 2 random enemies and whatever allies in the first position. If you have some wards up there, that could be useful, but as is, nah. Let's give him the Corrosive Cloud. Alright, Bacillus, you didn't get a level up, sorry. Maybe next time. Alright. Let's go to the Mortuary, put Sai in there. He'll be fully healed after our next victory. Let's see what we have over here in the Creation Station. Aha! We'd have a request for a Headhunter. Let's do it. It'll be our first person on Team 3, possibly. We do have another request for a Wraith, but I'm going to hold off on that. Headhunters are very, very damage-focused. I'm wondering what I would pair that with. Maybe a Mummy could be good. I haven't tried a Black Widow run, really. I don't know if I want to give you this flesh. Extra attack, extra luck. I don't know. Let's go with a basic one first, then we can upgrade you later, maybe. Spider Pack does damage to a random enemy. Poison Spit. Magic deals... Well, it does magic damage and then loses armor and resistance for 2 turns. Silken Pull. Pulls the target forward. Deals 20% less damage for 2 turns. Ignores blocks. No damage, though. Spider Strike does damage, loses 12 luck and 12 evasion for 2 turns. That's nice. Spider Cocoon. Retreat into a cocoon of spider web until the next turn. After each minion or enemy action, the Widow recovers 5% HP or health. Wow. It's called vigor in this game, but it's health. Provides a 100% chance to redirect any attack targeting a minion behind her to the Black Widow. Oh, wow. So you can tank with this, too. And then her ult is Spider Web. Cast a web over all enemies for 2 turns. She also apparently has Spider Venom, which every turn causes the target to lose 2% of their vigor and sanity. 1% for bosses. Can be stacked up to 5 times. Wow. So she's also kind of damage focused. The Headhunter here has a lot of attacks that can't be single targeted. Probably because he doesn't have a head. Anyway. Shark Walker. Wanted this one. Let's go ahead and change him over. I love this ethereal axe that he gets on the supporter version. That is so awesome looking. Dual Slash hits 2 random enemies. Catch 'em. Targets a random enemy. It can ignore blocks and then pulls them to the first position. Sense 'em. Lots and lots of stress on a random enemy. This one's not random. Seething Wrath. He marks a targeted position. At the beginning of his next turn, he deals damage to that position. It doesn't take up his turn, that second turn, and he cannot miss that attack. Pretty neat. Pretty darn neat, especially when upgraded. We'll get to that later. And then if he's moved to the back for any reason, he has Bloody Harvest, which moves him forward and hurts all enemies for a little bit. His ult is Bounty. Deals twice his attack in damage to an enemy of his choosing and ignores block and moves him forward. So, yeah, he's very, 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 very punchy. He's all about the punch. Let's team him up with a mummy. I have my reasons, and I'll tell you what they are.
Easier to make my enemies unlucky than being lucky myself.
Yeah. Mummies, what Iratus meant by that is that if the mummy gets hit, whoever hits him loses 10 luck, which is pretty good. He's very luck-based. Cursing Touch does stress damage, and then curses them for stress damage for 2 extra turns. Clinging Wraps from the back, which is, he can't use Cursing Touch because it's in the 3rd position, but in the 3rd and 4th, Clinging Wraps deals damage, pulls the target forward, and causes him to lose luck for 2 turns. Impending Horror causes him to move forward, doing a stress attack to an enemy and whoever's behind it. This, though, is why I want him on this team, I think. Absorb Curses allows him to remove all debuffs from everyone else on his team, and then heal himself for 5 health for every debuff removed. Hex Beam, stress damage to everyone. Only a little bit. Extra if he has a debuff on himself. And then finally, Amplify Curses, a big ton of stress damage, and extra stress damage for each point of negative luck that an enemy has. So we don't have a backliner for this team yet. I'm thinking we could pull down a Bride right away. That would be sufficient. A Wraith? I don't think a Wraith has any good... Oh, he could totally Necrotic Wind from backstage. Or Ghostly Veil. You know what? We might use a Wraith. That's possible. But for now, let's take Team 1 and see what this quest is all about. You came upon a cave and instantly note strange runes carved into the walls that are a pathetic imitation of actual mystic practices. Ahead, you hear hushed voices, and the instant your undead emerge into the wider cavern, you see a congregation of humans worshipping what appears to be a giant rock sphere. Upon closer examination, it looks like thousands of worms have woven themselves together and then were turned to stone. Even as your undead advance toward it, the humans remain kneeling and praying to their god. We can slay them and gather their bodies for resources. We can have a minion touch the orb, risking him for a reward. Or we can study it with our magic. We have plenty of mana, so maybe a chance, we do have 2 talent points as well, maybe a chance of an extra talent point could be worth it. You reach out toward the grotesque orb with a spell. For a moment, you see the stone become flesh, and 1,000 worms slither around in a ball. Just as quickly as the vision came, it vanished from your mind, along with the sphere and all the humans in the chamber. Strangely, you feel like you've gained a dark sort of insight from the image. We did gain an extra talent point for that. So, we could jump straight to Destruction level 3. Love my hands bloody. Receive 50 wrath after killing an enemy with a destruction spell. We could also jump to Ire. Grab a few things here. And alchemy, we could jump down to surgical practice or grab something else like transplantation, which allows us to replace parts with higher quality parts. We're going to need that if we're going to want our dudes to last. Ooh, I think I want that in Relic Seeker, actually.
The formulae reveal their secrets.
Yeah, Relic Seeker increases the chance of receiving artifacts.
Through transformation, the will becomes free.
We're a little artifact lists right now, although the extra reward for everyone at the start of a battle is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Alright. Looks like we got, ooh, actual soldiers coming up. We'll see how we do. Taking team 1 here. Hey, if the game thought it was balanced enough, then I do too. Standard skeleton, stand steady. Alright. We have 2 guards who have spears, as you can see. They also have a decent amount of physical resistance. We have a hunky, and then in the back we have a demolition expert, which I can tell you right now, you don't want to see him in the front row. We're going to buff up the Dark Knight, which increases his resistances and make him hit harder. I think we're going to go ahead and Overwatch here, because I know all of these, except for the hunky, tend to move around a lot. So the bride is on Overwatch. He stabs. Okay, this dude. He threw that. It's a war. It's a magic attack. So thankfully we have the wards. But yes, he moved forward immediately after doing that, just as I thought he would. Let's go ahead and hit this guard. Yeah, damage is going to be a little tough to come by here. Thankfully, we do have the option of using our zombie, who does have plenty of magic damage to spare. There we go. Fun smoke toy. Defensive stance. That moves him back, which means he gets shot by the bride. But whenever a minion moves, he attacks. So it's basically his version of Overwatch. Sounds annoying. That's because it is. I don't want him in the front. Do we have anything that moves enemies back? You do, actually. The zombie does. Actually, the skeleton does, too. I just don't want this guy to get in the front. All right. Go ahead and bring us back into Overwatch. Okay, he's going to throw another bomb. He's going to move up to the front. He's going to get shot. Here's the problem. When he's in front, he's going to use these bombs. He's not going to take the bombs off. He's just going to use them. So I'm going to attack him with everything we got. Once this guy's out of the picture, a lot of the pressure on this fight goes away. Ooh, I'm tempted to use Abyssal Hunger, but we got to save that for something else. We're saving the Wrath for the zombies move. Wow, the zombie's taking a lot of damage. Hammer throw. Oh, God! Oh, the combo. All right. The zombie's ultimate is Cannonball. Deals a lot of damage, knocks enemies back. Knocks himself back, too. But most importantly, I should say. He went back home. Okay, yeah, knocked us back, too. Dumb damage. But Overwatch. That Overwatch was great. That is exactly what we needed in this day and age. Go ahead and give him some mediocrity. He needs that armor between these enemies. And then I don't think that little crit attack's going to be worth too much. Let's go ahead and throw a chest piercer right here. No crit, unfortunately. Okay, yeah, the mediocrity is already working for us. That is a debuff. That applies a blind. That is minus 30 accuracy, which is a lot. So, let's go ahead and throw down another one of these. 70% accuracy is pretty bad. Luckily, we have Dark Tithe, which will give us some mana back and remove that debuff. Your damage is weak, old man. We could double his damage, but I'm going to go ahead and have the zombie just use Bombardment. What this does is it puts him into a stance. As long as he's still in that stance at the start of his next turn, he does 4 attacks on the enemy. So set up the mortar, baby. Oh, that explosion, though. Oh. Perish. Perish has an unassuming strike. It ignores armor and does 80% damage. Show them their place as a shield bash that knocks enemies back and interrupts stances, so I could use that on this boy if he was moved back far enough. Astounding Fortitude Makes enemies more likely to attack Perish, and also gives him 8 armor and resistance until his next move. Embrace Mediocrity is an armor and resistance buff. Smite is 2 hits. Weak hits, but 2 hits. And then Shield Banger, of course, is a stress attack. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to use the Smite, just in case the first hit misses. Or only does 2 damage. Alright. That's beautiful. Still got it. Alright. Good stuff, good stuff. You know what? Give me a stress hit. Alright. Dark Knight. Go for more stress. There we go. Weakness. Beautiful. The zombie's pretty damn weak. There's his attack. Yeah. Bombardment, boys. Okay, now we're going to use more powder. We're going to make his next bombardment even stronger. Assuming the fight lasts that long. I'm worried for him, though. Oh, that could have killed him. Woo, the bomb, though.
You will be worth something in death.
Okay. Because the Hunky has no resistance, Smite does a little bit more damage than Unassuming Strike. If he had a little bit of armor, then Unassuming Strike would be better. That said, let's whack him. Alright, Perish loves to whack. Let's go straight at him. Don't even mess around. Alright. Oh, good. He went after Perish. That would have stunned, but Perish is a skeleton, so he's immune to all buffs and debuffs, including stuns. Alley-oop. 97 damage. Out of my house. Ooh, we got some dust, and we got some imprisoned souls in a ring. Very nice. Sai's fully healed. Alright. Move Sai back to his team. We got some level ups over here. Zombie is very close to being dead. Let's go ahead and throw down those level ups real quick. Dark Knight. I think I'm going to want you... I'm going to want you to do the same thing. Death comes for everyone. Especially since you have the skeleton here. Perish can buff him up, making that a lot stronger. Zombie. We could do Grand Volley, which ignores ward. Accurate Volley, which ignores resistance. Both are tempting. His Buckshot, which does a little bit of damage to 3 enemies, whoever you target, 2 behind it. You can change that to Whistling Buckshot, which ignores armor. Or Plentiful Buckshot, which hits all enemies for a tiny bit extra damage. This one's probably my favorite upgrade for the zombie. Igniting Mixture can be changed to a Fiery Explosive, which does a lot more magic damage per turn. 14 to 15 compared to 9 to 10. We can also change it to a Smoke Bomb, which does stress damage instead. And if he curses someone, they lose 5 luck, accuracy, and evasion. Not bad. More Powder could become even more powder for extra accuracy. Or Trench Loading, which buffs his attack a little bit less, but gives him a block and a ward as well. Which could be tempting. And we could change a Bombardment to Abyssal Bombardment, which is just stronger. Or to Shock Charges, which changes it to a magic attack instead of a physical attack. Alright. Next thing I'm going to go with Trench Loading. He almost got killed. Let's try to keep him a little bit more alive. Oh, Perish? We could make so that his Sudden Strike ignores both armor and block, which means it's basically almost guaranteed to hit. Or we can go the other way, Clumsy Strike, which never misses. I don't get the name either, but there it is. It does not ignore blocks, though. Show them their place. Interrupts stances by default, but you can change that to Bony Bully, which gives him a stun. Or Forceful Lesson, which does more damage. Astounding Fortitude, which is his, his self-mark and block, or resistance increase. We can change that to Mystic Fortitude for even more armor and resistance, or we can change it to Unnerving Fortitude. Same amount of armor and resistance, but every time he's attacked, he deals stress damage back. Embrace Mediocrity can become Endless Mediocrity, which is extra armor and resistance, or what I really like, Strength of Mediocrity, where in addition to 4 armor and 4 resistance, he gives his ally 2 attack and 2 dread. That all stacks on the Dark Knight, by the way, which is why I like it. We could also change Smite to Smite the Show-Offs, which does 2 hits, of course, but also 1 extra hit for each buff the enemy has. Or Vorpal Smite, which has a 4% chance to instantly kill the enemy, unless they're a boss. Pretty cool, needless to say, but I'm going to go with Strength of Mediocrity.
My enemies are in for
Let's call him a semi-support. For the bride, we could go with Lung Piercer, so that crit stun instead of doing extra damage, or even more extra damage on the crit. Flames of Love, which does damage and sets them on fire for a couple turns, could be traded with Flames of Passionate Love, which is, I believe, just more damage. Yes, it is. Or Flames of Eternal Love, which is an extra turn on the fire. Overwatch could become Deadly Watch, which ignores armor, or Careful Watch, which gives her 33% extra evasion. That's a lot of evasion. Think of Him, which gives her 6 attack and dread until the end of the battle. Could be traded with Adore Him for even more attack and dread, or Worship Him for attack, dread, and mana, which is pretty strong. Warning Shot, stress damage, and a knockback. Could be changed to Get Away From Him for even more... Well, no, wait, same amount of stress, sorry. But also makes the enemy more likely to run away. Or You Won't Get Him, which makes it so that they are unable to move during their next turn. And it interrupts stances. Pretty good. I think... What I really like Deadly Watch. It's 14-18 damage and ignores armor, so it's a good combination. Okay. Zombie, you're going in the mortuary. Let's head back here real quick. Can I afford a Wraith now? No, I cannot. What am I missing? I am mixing an Ectoplasm. That is literally all I'm missing is a single Ectoplasm. What can I make Ectoplasm out of? Transmutation. Ecto. 2 hearts. Ah, but they're my only hearts. I don't know if I want to do that. Might have to hold off there. We can convert parts into mana. Nah, we don't need to do that. Let's get another spell. Restore 5 mana after every fight. We might need to get this. Let's do Sorrow.
I want to show you a little magic trick.
6 mana for 20 stress damage. Eventually we'll want to build this too, the Iratus statue. Whoever you place on this statue gives 8 mana after every victory. We could definitely make use of that. Although we do have a decent amount of mana regen in our number 1 and number 2 teams. Number 3 team, obviously not done yet. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode of Thet Plays Iratus. Next time, we're going to get ourselves a new item, fight a battle, maybe get a chest, which could have an artifact in it, and see where we go from there. Maybe next time we'll get out of the mines, but it's probably a little bit farther away than that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the boss is way up here. So we'll find out together how long that's going to take. Thank you again for watching this episode of Iratus. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more, because it's going to keep coming for a while at least, and it won't stop coming because I'm enjoying it. Thanks again for watching. My name is Thet, and I will see you in the next video.